Just goes to show that 1 minute life seems absolutely horrible, and the next thing you know, you're wondering how you ever could have been so blind. That night we celebrated the Passover with Jesus. He kept going on and on about going back to the Father and preparing a place for us, and the many rooms, and well, I couldn't make heads or tails out of what he was saying. He kept explaining that we knew the way to go where he was going, and I thought, are there directions? Do we have a map? I even asked Jesus, how do we know how to go where you're going? Then Jesus tells me that I have to come through the Father through him. What in the world did he mean? I kept thinking about what he said, and I couldn't figure it out. Then, of course, a few hours later, Jesus had been arrested. And then there was the trial and his death and that horrible cross. Well, trying to interpret Jesus' cryptic comments was about the last thing on my mind. At that point, I was worried for my life, just like the rest of Jesus' followers. Well, one night, some of the old gang said they'd seen Jesus. Oh, brother, I thought. The fear and lack of sleep was getting to everyone. Here's the deal, I said. When I can put my fingers in the nail wounds and my hands in his wounds on his side, then I'll believe. That shut him up. I felt pretty smug until about a week later. Then I got the surprise of my life. I was with the disciples. The door was locked. Then Jesus was there. He just appeared. I was speechless. Then he looked at me and said, "Go ahead, Thomas. Feel my wounds. Believe." So I reached out my hand. I was trembling as I touched those blessed wounds. I felt to my knees and cried out, "My Lord, my God." I knew then what he meant. Jesus is the Savior of my life. He is the way to the Father. I don't know how many years I have left on this earth, but I know there's room prepared for me in God's house. I have seen and touched the truth. I used to have some serious doubts about Jesus. Now I'm Thomas the believer.